Hey folks, I'm Tori. Welcome to Bass Strategy. Well, April is coming to a close, so it's time for our first favorite video of the year. We're doing April favorites today. Now, April was a pretty bad month for me. It's always my worst month of the year, but I came into the month of April thinking it was going to be different. I had so much momentum coming out of March. From the moment the ice came off the water in March, I was catching them. And then everything, they just vanished on me for the majority of April. End of April, I started seeing them again, but still ran into some bad luck here and there with the weather. And even this weekend, we got some rain and a lot of wind, so it wasn't the greatest weekend to get out there that last weekend of April. But with that being said, there were still a lot of things that I tried this month that I liked. There were some standouts, and I want to share some of those with you today. The highlight of the month was definitely this Sunline SX1 braid. I use this on my spinning rod, and I got this for the first time this off season. It was very highly reviewed and highly regarded for spinning reels, so I wanted to give it a try. I was previously using 20-pound Power Pro braid, and I always fish a 6-pound leader on that, or for the most part I'm fishing a 6-pound fluorocarbon leader. And so I switched to this 20-pound SX1 braid, and it is a big difference. So I really love this line. It's really castable, really smooth. But the thing that stood out to me the most was the tying connection knots on this braid. So with the Power Pro, the 20-pound test, I prefer to try a blood knot whenever possible, but with the lower diameter leader, the 6-pound leader I was using, almost could never get it to cinch down on a blood knot. I'd always have to go to an Albright knot. But with this, I can always tie my blood knot. I highly recommend giving it a try for your spinning rod applications. Again, this is a 20-pound test. If there was one knock I had on this line, it was the color. It's called deep green, but it is not too deep of a green. It's kind of more of like a yellowish green, but when I'm using my fluoro leader, it's not too big of a concern, but just something for you to be aware of if you don't always tie fluorocarbon leader onto your braid, that this is pretty visible in the water. So this is Sunline SX1. Definitely give it a try for your spinning reels. It's great. So the next standout I have this month was this new attractant that I purchased this off season. It's Power Team Lures Hog Tonic. Now, I don't always use attractant on everything, but when there's a lot of pressure on the water or when the bite is really tough, like it was this month, I will spray attractant on, and I do feel like it makes a little bit of a difference. So previously, I was using this Kickin' Bass attractant, and it's got a great scent to it. Don't get me wrong, this is a great attractant, but I do not like the applicator on this bottle, and it's a very thick consistency to it. So when I'm using it, the applicator kind of gets gunked up after a little while, and I really just prefer spraying my attractant on. So what I was doing with that Kicking Bass attractant was using an old KVD line and lure conditioner bottle, mixing it with some other oils to loosen it up a little bit so I could come through that spray bottle, and that's what I was using last season, and it worked decently well. But when I'm diluting it like I was to get it to the right consistency so it could spray, it didn't have the longevity that I wanted. So I changed over to this Hog Tonic. I really wanted it because the applicator was a spray applicator, and it works really well. It stays on the lure for a really long time, and it stinks. It really stinks. It's like a fresh garlic salad dressing on your salad. Garlic smell. Really, really strong, potent. You don't need much. So even though it's only a little 4-ounce bottle, you only need 1 or 2 squirts, and that application will last you a really long time. So definitely try this stuff. If you're not using attractant, give it a try. It's $10 a bottle. It's, again, a 4-ounce bottle, but it'll last you a really long time. So the next standout of the month was actually a trailer, and it's for my swim jigs. So last year I bought a few different kinds of trailers, and the standout last year was the X-Zone Swammer. I also, in that same purchase, picked up some River to Sea D-Walkers, but I didn't really like them on the back of my swim jigs, and I was primarily using finesse style swim jigs, and I just thought they were too heavy and a little too bulky, and I just didn't think the action was very good. However, this spring I gave them another try because I went with just a standard style swim jig, and I ended up cutting the head off to shorten it up a little bit, and I just liked that profile. And in the water, this thing was rocking really nice. It looks so good in the water. And because it's such a hard plastic, it's really durable. So this really could last me all day on the water. Shorten it up a little bit just by cutting off the front of that head. It's perfect on the back of that. So the next thing is more of a moving forward type pickup. I built myself a new Ned rig box. Ned rig's something I am looking to get into this year. So I have a whole lot of stuff, and I really like to focus on each technique that I have. I don't want to just throw everything that's out there, so I take my time really fine-tuning each technique that I have. So it's taken me a while to get to Ned rigs. I know they've been around for a while, but I'm finally there. And last year, with all of the success I had with the tube and really finesse fishing, I thought it was a great time to get into the Ned rig because I think that's going to carry into this season as well. So I got a few different things. I've been really paying attention to what other people and other YouTubers throw for the Ned rig, and that helped make my decisions on what I should pick up just to try it out. So of course I've got the Strike King. They have this little Rage Ned bug, I guess, and it has a little Rage tail at the end to give you a little bit more action. Then I've got the Missile Baits Ned Bomb. I got a few different colors of those. Threw a couple of Senkos in my box. You know, I can cut them down a little bit, experiment with that. So really I just got a whole bunch of different options in here, and I'm just going to give it a try this summer and see how Ned rig goes. I'm really looking forward to trying out the Ned rig. So that's going to bring us to the special thanks and special no thanks of the month. So special thanks. Again, tough month out there. Not a lot of people on the water this month, so I didn't have a lot of interactions. So I'm going to have to give the special thanks just to the weather we've been having this spring. For the majority of the spring over here, we've had a fantastic weather pattern. A lot of warm days, 60-degree, beautiful days, all next to each other. The water temperature really shot up quick this year because we've had so many warm days. Really haven't had a spring like this in a long, long time. It wasn't really until the last couple weeks that the weather has become inconsistent, and we got a lot of wind. We got some snow last week, so we've had a really, for the most part, a really consistent warm spring. So I was really happy about that. But special no thanks. We're going to take you out to a situation I had on the water with a singer in the middle of my fishing day. Let's take a look. There's somebody singing, and they're so bad. And the wind is blowing this way, so I can hear this person sing. It's like it's almost like a bad keytar is kind of what it sounds like. It's like someone pretending to be a ghost is what it sounds like. Sometimes I feel like I am on the Truman Show, and when I go fishing, they like come up with a new way. They're like, all right, let's send out the singer that sounds like a dying cat. Let's see how he does with that. Special no thanks to the singer. I'm just trying to go fishing out there. There's always something going on, distracting me, and taking home the special no thanks. Alright guys, well if you like this video, give me that like and consider subscribing to the channel. Don't forget to drop a comment below. Let me know if you have any tips for April. Obviously I need some help in April, all the help I can get. It's my worst month of the year, but I do think it's going to be picking up as we turn that calendar over to May. So let's see how we do out there. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.